Imagine money as water in a vast, interconnected river system. It's constantly moving, circulating, changing direction. Some people seem to live right next to the main river, where water is abundant and always flowing. Others feel stuck in dry land, fighting for a few drops. The question is, why? Is it luck, privilege, or something else entirely? In this video, we're going to explore a different way of seeing money, not just as numbers in your bank account, but as moving energy that responds to value, beliefs, and behavior. When you understand this, the patterns of who gets rich and who stays stuck start to make a lot more sense and become more changeable than you might think. By the end of this video, you'll see why money flows to some people, how to stop unconsciously pushing it away, and how to start positioning yourself where the river naturally runs. To understand money as moving energy, we need to zoom out from bills, debts, and paychecks and look at the underlying patterns. Money doesn't just appear randomly. It tends to flow towards certain people, places, and ideas, those that channel, direct, and multiply its energy. In this video, we'll break that down into practical pieces: how your beliefs shape your financial signal, why some people naturally attract opportunities, how value creation works as an energetic exchange, and what you can start doing today to change your relationship with money. If you're interested in deep dives like this, where mindset meets practical strategy, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. And stay with me until the end, where I'll summarize this into clear, actionable steps you can start applying immediately in your own life. Let's start with a simple idea. Money is a human agreement that stores and transfers value. Underneath the paper, metal, or digital numbers is energy, human time, effort, creativity, risk, and service. Money is how that energy moves between people. When you work, you're converting your energy into something another person or business values. When they pay you, they're transferring stored energy back to you in the form of money. So money isn't inherently good or bad. It's a neutral medium that amplifies whatever it touches. Some people see money as scarce, dangerous, or dirty. Others see it as a tool, a neutral force that can be directed toward growth, security, and contribution. That perception matters because it shapes how freely you allow money to move toward and through you. If money is energy, then your beliefs become the rules that energy has to obey when it enters your life. Why does money seem to cluster around certain people? Think of money like electrical current. It seeks pathways with lower resistance. People who consistently attract money have usually, consciously or unconsciously, reduced their internal and external resistance. Internal resistance is made of beliefs like, I'm not worth that much, people like me never get rich, or making money means I'm greedy. Each of these beliefs is like rust on a wire, blocking the current. External resistance is about skills, systems, and visibility. If no one knows you exist, if your offers are unclear, or if people can't easily pay you, the flow is interrupted. The people who seem lucky often have both sides handled. Their beliefs allow them to receive, and their behavior creates clear channels for money to travel through. The good news, resistance can be reduced, and when you do that, the flow tends to increase. Your relationship with money began long before your first paycheck. It started in childhood, watching how your family talked or didn't talk about money. Maybe you heard phrases like, we can't afford that, rich people are selfish, or money doesn't grow on trees. These became emotional truths, even if they're not objectively accurate. If money is moving energy, your subconscious beliefs are like a thermostat controlling the flow. You might consciously say you want abundance, but if deep down you believe wealth will make you unsafe, guilty, or disconnected from the people you love, you'll unconsciously sabotage opportunities. This is why two people with the same job, skills, and salary can experience money totally differently. One saves, invests, and grows. The other leaks money as soon as it arrives. The difference isn't intelligence, it's wiring. To change how money flows to you, you must first notice the stories you inherited and decide which ones no longer serve you. The fastest way to change your financial reality is to change the value you bring into the world. Remember, money is a carrier of value. It moves toward people who consistently create, organize, or amplify value for others. Notice that I didn't say work harder. Many people grind relentlessly yet stay broke because they're not increasing the perceived value of their output. A person who solves a painful problem for 1,000 people can earn far more than someone working just as hard on something nobody really needs. When you think of money as energy, you start asking different questions. Where is there stuck or chaotic energy in people's lives that I can help organize? What problems can I relieve? What joys can I amplify? The clearer and more intense the value you create, the stronger the energetic signal you send out, and the more reasons money has to flow back to you in response. If money is moving energy, then your emotional state is like your personal frequency. People who live mostly in fear, shame, or resentment about money tend to unconsciously repel it. They avoid looking at bank statements, procrastinate on invoices, or undercharge from guilt. All of this signals, I'm not a safe place for this energy to land. On the other hand, the people you see attracting opportunities often hold a different frequency: grounded confidence, curiosity, and openness. They're not frantic or clingy about money. They respect it, track it, and make decisions from possibility rather than panic. This isn't magical thinking. Your emotional state affects your decisions, your tone of voice, how you show up in negotiations, and whether others trust you. Over time, that compounds into very real financial outcomes. Shifting your frequency means regulating your nervous system, telling better stories about money, and acting from clarity instead of chronic fear. Money tends to avoid chaos and leak out through confusion. If your finances are a mess, no budget, no tracking, random subscriptions, emotional spending, then money leaving your life is almost guaranteed. That's not punishment, it's entropy. Unmanaged energy disperses. People to whom money flows steadily usually create clear containers for it. They know what's coming in, what's going out, and where it's going next. They build simple systems: separate accounts for expenses and savings, automatic investments, clear pricing, invoices sent on time. Think of your financial life like plumbing. Leaky pipes, clogged drains, and missing valves mean water won't stay where you want it. Cleaning up your system signals, I can handle more flow. This doesn't require perfection. Start by simply tracking every dollar for a month. Awareness alone begins to reduce chaos, and when energy meets structure, it can accumulate and grow instead of constantly escaping. Contrary to popular belief, most people who attract a lot of money aren't just lucky. They've learned to stand where the rivers meet. They position themselves at intersections of needs, skills, and networks. This positioning is energetic. It's about aligning your talents with real demand and visible channels. Ask yourself, where is the flow already happening? Which industries, platforms, or communities are currently experiencing growth? How can you plug into those instead of trying to create flow from scratch in a dry riverbed? People who receive more often do three things. They make themselves easy to find, they communicate clearly what value they provide, and they participate where transactions are already occurring. In energetic terms, they place themselves downstream of many sources instead of relying on a single trickle. The clearer your role in the ecosystem, the more naturally money recognizes you as a logical destination. One of the biggest reasons money doesn't stay is self-sabotage. If your inner identity says, I'm someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, then anytime your reality starts to exceed that identity, you'll unconsciously bring it back down through overspending, bad deals, or sudden emergencies. Money is moving energy that tries to match the container you've built for it: your identity, habits, and standards. If your self-concept is too small for the amounts you desire, the flow will feel unstable and stressful. People who handle large sums comfortably usually grew into that role by gradually raising their standards for how they manage money, who they learn from, and what they tolerate. To change your energetic set point, start with small upgrades. Save a little more than usual, negotiate slightly higher, say no to underpaying work. Each action teaches your nervous system it's safe for me to hold and grow more energy. Time is also energy, and how you trade time for money determines your long-term flow. Many people are stuck selling hours, pure time for fixed wages. There's nothing wrong with that, but it usually caps your flow because there are only so many hours you can work. People who experience expanding money flow often shift from selling time to selling outcomes, assets, and systems. Outcomes, charging for results instead of hours. Assets, creating books, courses, products, or intellectual property that can earn repeatedly. Systems, building teams or processes that allow value to be delivered without your constant presence. In energetic terms, this is like building a network of channels that continue to move water even while you sleep. Ask, what do I know, or what can I build that could keep creating value without me constantly pushing? This mindset unlocks leverage, and leverage is how money energy multiplies, rather than just cycles in place. We also need to address giving. In an energetic universe, hoarding creates stagnation. Water that never moves becomes stale. People who cling desperately to every dollar often experience paradoxical scarcity. They're signaling fear, not stewardship. On the other hand, generous people tend to experience more circulation when their giving is conscious and sustainable. This doesn't mean recklessly throwing money around or giving from guilt. It means directing part of your financial energy toward causes, people, and experiences that matter to you. Generosity shifts your identity from desperate receiver to active participant in the flow. You start seeing yourself as someone through whom money moves, not just to whom it occasionally arrives. Practically, this could be a small percentage of your income dedicated to giving, even when amounts are modest. Energetically, you're telling your system, there is enough. I am part of a larger circulation, which often relaxes the fear that blocks opportunities. Let's talk about opportunity perception. Two people can see the same situation, say a new technology or a local problem, and one sees inconvenience while the other sees a doorway. Money often flows to those who recognize and act on these doorways earlier and more often. Perception is energetic pattern recognition. You train it by asking new questions. Where are people frustrated? What's becoming easier for everyone else that I'm ignoring? What skills do I have that intersect with emerging trends? Instead of waiting for a perfect big break, focus on many small opportunities. A side project, a freelance client, a skill upgrade, a collaboration. Each is like building a tiny tributary feeding your main river. Over time, these streams compound. The more you practice moving on aligned opportunities, the more life seems to present them. To outside observers, it looks like luck. From the inside, it's simply responsiveness to the energetic invitations all around you. Let's distill this into key takeaways you can actually use. First, see money as moving energy, not moral judgment. It's a neutral medium that carries value between people. Second, your beliefs and emotions act like filters and valves. Scarcity stories, shame, and fear create resistance. Clarity, respect, and grounded confidence open channels. Third, flow follows value and structure. The more real problems you solve, and the better your systems for earning, receiving, and managing money, the easier it is for energy to stay and grow. Fourth, your identity sets your capacity. Upgrade your standards slowly but consistently so it feels safe to hold more. Fifth, circulation matters. Conscious giving and strategic investing keep the energy moving in ways that benefit you and others. Finally, opportunity is everywhere for those trained to see it. Ask better questions, notice frustrations around you, and act on small openings. That's how you step closer to the main river. Now it's your turn to work with this idea, not just think about it. After this video, take 10 minutes and do 3 things. 1. Write down the top 3 money stories you grew up with. Next to each, ask, is this absolutely true? Does it help energy flow or block it? 2. List one way you can increase value this week. Solve a problem better, serve a client more deeply, or launch a small offer. 3. Choose one tiny structural upgrade. Track your spending, open a savings account, or automate a bill. If this perspective on money as moving energy resonated, let me know in the comments what you're changing first. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want more deep, practical content like this, and share this video with someone who needs a new lens on money. Remember, you're not stuck where you are. You can move closer to the river, one intentional choice at a time.